In January 2023, Microsoft wrote a check for $10 billion to a company that had no physical product on store shelves, no hardware, no factory, just software and a dream about artificial intelligence. That single check transformed Microsoft from a software company associated with Word and Excel into the most powerful AI company on Earth. It gave Microsoft control over ChatGPT, the fastest-growing technology product in human history. It gave them access to the most advanced AI models ever created, and it locked every major competitor, Google, Amazon, Meta, out of the most important AI partnership in the world. This is the story of how one deal, negotiated in secret, changed the entire technology industry forever. To understand why this deal matters, you need to understand where Microsoft was before it happened. Because 10 years ago, Microsoft was considered a dying company. In 2013, Microsoft was stuck. Windows Phone had failed. The Surface tablet was a disaster that cost the company $900 million. Signs. Nokia, which Microsoft acquired for $7.2 billion, was a catastrophe. While Apple and Google were dominating mobile, Microsoft was nowhere. The stock price had been essentially flat for over a decade. Tech analysts were writing articles asking whether Microsoft was finished. Then in 2014, everything changed. Satya Nadella became CEO. He replaced Steve Ballmer, who had missed the mobile revolution. Satya was different. He was quiet, strategic, and obsessed with cloud computing. Satya made one critical decision that nobody appreciated at the time. He shifted Microsoft's entire focus to the cloud. Azure became the priority. Office moved to the cloud as Microsoft 365. Everything became cloud first. Wall Street was skeptical. Analysts questioned the strategy, but Satya kept pushing. By 2020, Azure had become the second largest cloud platform in the world behind Amazon Web Services. Microsoft's stock price had tripled. The company was relevant again, but Satya was not done. He was watching something else very closely. A small AI research lab in San Francisco called OpenAI, and he was about to make the most important phone call in Microsoft's history. The relationship between Microsoft and OpenAI started in 2019. At the time, OpenAI was burning through cash. Training AI models requires enormous amounts of computing power. Computing power costs money, a lot of money. OpenAI needed hundreds of millions of dollars just to keep the lights on. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, had a problem. He needed money and infrastructure. Satya Nadella had a solution. He offered both. In 2019, Microsoft invested $1 billion in OpenAI. In return, Microsoft got three things. First, OpenAI would use Microsoft Azure as its exclusive cloud computing platform. Every AI model OpenAI trained would run on Microsoft servers. Second, Microsoft would get the right to commercialize OpenAI's technology and integrate it into Microsoft products. Third, Microsoft would become OpenAI's preferred partner, locking out every other tech giant. For $1 billion, Satya Nadella had essentially bought a front-row seat to the most advanced AI research on the planet. Google had DeepMind. Meta had their own AI lab. Amazon had Alexa, but none of them had access to what OpenAI was building. At the time, most people in the tech industry thought Microsoft had overpaid. OpenAI had no consumer product, no revenue. Just research papers and ambition. $1 billion for a non-profit AI lab seemed like a gamble. It turned out to be the greatest investment in modern technology history. Then, ChatGPT happened, November 30th, 2022. OpenAI released ChatGPT to the public. Within 5 days, it had 1 million users. Within 2 months, it had 100 million users. It became the fastest-growing consumer application in the history of the internet. The entire world woke up to artificial intelligence overnight, and Satya Nadella was the only tech CEO on Earth who already had a deal in place. While Google panicked and rushed to build Bard, while Meta scrambled to catch up, while Amazon tried to figure out their AI strategy. Satya Nadella picked up the phone and made the biggest move in corporate history. In January 2023, Microsoft invested an additional $10 billion in OpenAI. The total investment was now approximately $13 billion. The terms of this deal were extraordinary and unlike anything the technology industry had ever seen. Microsoft would receive 75% of OpenAI's profits until the $13 billion investment was fully recovered. After that, Microsoft would retain a 49% stake in OpenAI's capped profit division. OpenAI's technology would be exclusively hosted on Microsoft Azure, generating billions in cloud computing revenue. Microsoft gained the right to integrate OpenAI's models into every Microsoft product: Windows, Office, Bing, Azure, Teams, GitHub, and more. In exchange, OpenAI got the money and computing infrastructure it desperately needed to keep building more advanced AI models. They got access to Microsoft's global network of data centers, and they got the financial security to compete with Google and Meta. But here is the part that makes this deal truly genius. Microsoft did not just invest money, they invested infrastructure. Every single time anyone in the world uses ChatGPT, that request runs on Microsoft Azure servers. Every time an OpenAI API call is made by any developer anywhere on Earth, Microsoft's cloud gets paid. Microsoft makes money whether OpenAI succeeds as a company or not, because the computing bills go to Azure regardless. Satya Nadella did not just bet on OpenAI. He built a system where Microsoft wins no matter what happens. With OpenAI's technology locked in, Satya Nadella did something no other CEO could do. He weaponized AI across every single Microsoft product overnight. First came Bing. Microsoft integrated ChatGPT into Bing search. For the first time in 15 years, someone was genuinely challenging Google in search. Bing went from a joke that nobody used to a legitimate AI-powered search engine. Satya publicly said he wanted to make Google dance, and Google was dancing. Then came Microsoft 365 Copilot. AI was embedded into Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook, and Teams. Copilot could write your documents, analyze your spreadsheets, create your presentations, summarize your emails, and take notes in your meetings. Microsoft charged $30 per user per month for Copilot. With over 400 million Microsoft 365 users worldwide, the revenue potential was staggering. Then came GitHub Copilot. Microsoft owns GitHub, the platform where most of the world's software code is stored. They integrated OpenAI's technology into GitHub. Now AI could write code, debug programs, and suggest entire functions for developers. GitHub Copilot is now writing 46% of all new code on the platform. Then came Azure AI Services. Microsoft offered OpenAI's models through Azure to any business in the world. Companies could build their own AI applications using OpenAI's technology hosted on Microsoft's cloud. Enterprise customers started flooding in. Azure AI revenue started growing at triple-digit rates. In less than 2 years, Microsoft had integrated AI into search, productivity software, developer tools, cloud services, and enterprise solutions. No other company on Earth had AI embedded this deeply across this many products used by this many people. Then came the ultimate test of this deal's power. November 2023. Sam Altman was fired from OpenAI by his own board. For 5 days, the future of OpenAI was uncertain. The entire tech world watched in shock. But Satya Nadella was not panicking. He was calculating. Within 24 hours of Sam's firing, Satya tweeted that Sam Altman and Greg Brockman would be welcome to join Microsoft and lead a new AI research division. He offered to hire anyone from OpenAI who wanted to come. Think about what that means. Satya had structured the deal so perfectly that even if OpenAI completely collapsed, Microsoft would win. If Sam stays at OpenAI, Microsoft has its AI partner. If Sam comes to Microsoft, Microsoft has the AI genius in-house. If OpenAI falls apart, Microsoft has the technology license and the talent. Every possible outcome benefited Microsoft. That is not luck. That is the most brilliant corporate strategy of the 21st century. Sam Altman returned to OpenAI 5 days later. Microsoft's position became even stronger. The new OpenAI board was more business-friendly. The relationship between Microsoft and OpenAI became even closer, and Satya Nadella proved to the entire world that Microsoft was untouchable in AI. The numbers tell the story better than words ever could. Before the OpenAI deal, Microsoft's market capitalization was approximately $1.8 trillion. Today it exceeds $3 trillion. Microsoft added more than $1 trillion in value largely because of this single partnership. Azure revenue is growing at over 30% per year, driven heavily by AI demand. Microsoft 365 Copilot is generating billions in new subscription revenue. GitHub Copilot has over 1.8 million paying subscribers. Bing's market share is growing for the first time in over a decade. Satya Nadella spent $13 billion and got back over $1 trillion in market value. That is a return of roughly 77 times his investment. It might be the single greatest deal in the history of corporate America. And the scary part for every other tech company? Microsoft is just getting started. Every new OpenAI model, GPT-5, GPT-6, whatever comes next, will be hosted on Azure, integrated into Microsoft products, and sold through Microsoft's enterprise sales machine. Google has Gemini, Meta has Llama, Amazon has Bedrock. But none of them have what Microsoft has. None of them have a $13 billion exclusive partnership with the company that started the entire AI revolution. Satya Nadella did not just make a deal. He bought the future. And he bought it before anyone else even realized it was for sale. What do you think is the smartest business deal in tech history? Drop your answer in the comments. I am Shadow Tech, and I will see you in the next one.